abd of Allah, to become a slave of Allah, is the only way to actually become free. That's deep. Do you know why? I'll answer that question by telling you something. One of the companions of the Prophet, or it might have been a tabi'i, he came to one of the towns, and he said, I have come to free you from the slavery to the slave and bring you to the slavery of the Lord of the slave. So what is he saying? He's saying, I'm coming to free you. Here's the thing, every single one of us is a slave. Every single one of us is a slave to something. Everyone's a slave to something. Some people are slaves to their desires. Some people are slaves to another person. Some people are slaves to money. Some people are slaves to power. Some people are slaves to, image, how they appear in front of people. A lot of people are slaves to what other people think. Have you heard of that? But what are people gonna say? There are people out there are cultures out there where everything you do or don't do is based on, but what are people gonna say? What are people gonna say? That's called slavery. That's slavery. What are you a slave to? Other people. The opinions of other people. What those people are gonna say about you and about your family. That's slavery. When a woman is told, no, go back to your abusive husband because what are people gonna say? That's oppression. But what's the root of that oppression? It's slavery to what other people think. That's actually the root of the oppression. Because you're more worried about what people think than you are about anything else. And that's why, that's one kind of slavery. When we enslave ourselves only to Allah, meaning that I'm not a slave to what people think. I'm not a slave to my own desires. I'm not a slave to money. I'm not a slave to image and power and status. I'm only a slave to Allah. Then and only then do you become free. So that is what Allah is saying when He says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. It's very important we remember why we're here. Why were we created? Because it's easy to get lost in this chaos of life, right? Between our jobs and social media and our friends and our drama. A lot of drama, right? Netflix, that's a big part. That's important, right? So there's a lot of distractions, and it's easy to forget, why am I here? Some of us aren't clear on that. And this is a reminder of why we're here. Allah says, I have not created human beings, I've not created jinn and human beings for any purpose except ubudiyya, except that they enslave themselves to me, and that's how we're going to become free. Does that make sense? When you remember your purpose, then everything else can fall into place. But you have to know your purpose. If you lose sight of your purpose, nothing's going to make sense. Nothing is going to make sense.